capital is more important than making money. You want to lock in your trades, and you also want to protect your downside at the same time.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another edition of American Dream Trading's live futures education and training program. This is an outreach of American Dream Trading, which was founded by, and is owned by, is managed by, is incorporated as a legal corporation by Chad Christian, and we call him Coach. And the reason we call him Coach is because he helps us navigate the muddy waters of everything investing, such as stocks, options, crypto, and my personal favorite and the focus of this live broadcast, futures. So glad you can be here with us today. My name is Mark McSee. I'm one of the many, more than 20 moderators here at American Dream Trading, and we're glad you could be here with us today. And you know the routine. If this is your first time being here today, make sure you click that subscribe button, like, share, and also make sure you have your notification button also engaged so that you do not miss any of our upcoming broadcasts. And we are live here 3 times daily, Monday through Friday. Coach is live from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And I'm live here with the futures from 2 to 4 p.m. Eastern. And we also have our aftermarket show with our host, Don, another one of our training moderators, over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. So go over there and check that out. If you are on TikTok or Facebook or Kicks or what all the other different ones that's out there, all the major social media networks, I would highly recommend that you go to our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. You'll find this exact same broadcast live right there now also. The other benefit is that occasionally, well, not occasionally, quite often, I have trouble here with this TikTok Live Studio software, and we may lose our TikTok feed after about an hour and a half, it seems like. Some days we don't have any issues. Other days it's always an issue. Excuse me a minute. So get over there and do that. That way if the feed goes out, you can still watch live. Also, the other benefit of you being on our YouTube channel is there are over 2,800 live training videos. That's right, 2,800 plus live training videos for you to watch at your convenience over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. There is one of the tabs in there. They're even sorted by topic. I would highly recommend you start with Coach's 2-minute EWO trading strategy. That'll get you off to a firm foundation and help with your understanding of what we do here. We are not a call-out group. We are an education and training company. We want to help educate you on all things trading so that you can make your own educated and logical decision on what is a good trade, when to enter the trade, when to exit the trade, what things to look for, what's all these things mean on this chart behind me. And we do train you up on that. It's not easy, takes a while, takes time, but over time you will develop the skills and experience needed to successfully day trade if you just follow and come in with an empty cup and follow Coach's rules, and it will help lead to whatever financial success you are possibly looking for. Of course, results not guaranteed as anything else. It worked for me. It worked for thousands and thousands of others. So I would have to believe that if you would come in with an empty cup and follow the rules, you would probably have the same results that I did. And we look forward to you joining our group. And you can find more about American Dream Trading at our website, which is americandreamtrading.com. You know what that is. The only reason I spelled that out is because one of these certain websites does not like you promoting your place with a website. So trying to do that. Good to see James over there, one of our moderators in our YouTube live feed. And Doug is over here, another one of our trading moderators who also helps out with the futures over on TikTok. Doug's there. He ain't very mobile today, so he ain't got nothing but do but answer your questions also. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to type them into your social media chat box, and we'll try to do our best to answer your questions live as time allows. Good to see MYT back again. How are you, sir? And Miguel over there. For options trading, do I need live data? Yes, you do. You also need the Oprah data. You'll need two sets. You'll need regular live data, and you'll probably need what they call the Oprah data for options. So there's Weebles is, I believe, $2.99 a month plus tax. So depending on what state you live in, a little over $3 for each per month. Can't trade without them, and you have to have the most up-to-date information. If not, everything is going to be 10 minutes behind on your chart and in your options table. And that's true with trading anything, crypto, stock options, and even futures. Futures has its own data, live data that you have to subscribe to, which is different than what you use for stocks and stock options. The futures live data comes out of the Chicago Mercantile, easy for me to say, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, also known as CME Group. And that's a totally different fee, and that'll run you about $40 or so a month for the L2, about 11 or 12 bucks for the L1 data, which is a single line. So unless you're an expert with the L2 using it to help trade, it's a tool. Just get the L1 to get yourself started. That'll give you your live data package. No sense spending the money on the L2 when you're not ready for that yet. I use it every day. I depend on it to help me become a better trader. But I also traded my first full year trading stocks and stock options without even using the L2. So, didn't even know what an L2 was, actually. I mean, I heard of it, but I just didn't use it. After about a year, then I started learning that while I was trading into pre-market, and I haven't looked back since. It's just a tool. You don't have to have it. I did just fine without it. Am I doing better with it? Well, yeah, I believe so. Especially in the futures market. It really helps when you're trading gold and those type of things. With the indices, it's a little harder because it moves so fast until you get your eyeballs trained to see what's there. It's kind of like reading the matrix code. You know, once you can see it and understand what it's showing, then it starts really making sense and you can pick up on it. So, good. Also, James is posting our promos that we have running here at American Dream Trading. And you'll find them over in our YouTube live chat. They're clickable links that will take you right directly to our website and our third-party processor, which is WAP. They're the ones that handle the billing, just like you would when you go to a store. That store does not handle your billing. They farm that out to a company that's all they do. So it goes to a Visa provider. All right, let's see. I just seen a question pop up over there. Oh, Captain Call Out. Sorry to hear about the tornado knocking out your internet. That sucks. All right. You can join on your phone cellular, and it's a little harder with just cellular. Jamie asks, what about SoundHound? Well, what about it? That's a great company. I like it. I do like SoundHound. I haven't looked at it lately. I have bought it before. SOND, right? And SoundHound AI. They've had, well, matter of fact, NVIDIA was invested in them at one time. Now I know NVIDIA's divested themselves of their holdings in SoundHound, but we were trading this stock back in the day in the pre-market when it was a matter of just a couple bucks. That's why I'm familiar with it. So we've traded this a lot. It has its good and bad points, but what do you want to know about SoundHound? To say what about, that's a pretty broad question. What is your specific question? Now, this is a stock. It's not futures, but that's okay. I'll still answer your question best of my ability. So if you want to be more specific there, Jamie Gonzalez, 480, about what your question is about that would help me a lot, as I cannot read your mind. I'll wait on you to type in there. What do you want to know? So anyway, you will see me in the TikTok live chat. Just type it in random numbers. I'm just doing that because TikTok thinks if I don't type something in there, apparently we're not using it, and they think we're idle, and then they want to disconnect you. So you'll see me typing in random numbers. It says ADT Coach, but that's actually me. We do share a same account. There's a one corporate account. So I'm typing in 467 right now, and there it is. Bang, popped right up there. So you know that's me. Miguel, that's a great place to start. A lot of members start with our base level package, which is a premium. That'll get you in on the live Zoom call starting at 8:45 every morning. That's a great place to start. And then, as you get better and maybe you have more money coming in, then you can look to upgrade. Obviously, the diamond membership's the top of the line one, but I understand everybody can't afford that right now. So yes, premium will do you good. That's our base. That's how I started essentially back in the day. Matter of fact, that's all Coach had back in the day. So it was original lifetime back there that I got at that time, and we started training. So yeah, that won't get you into the pre-market at 4 a.m., but it will get you live Zoom call with Coach and the other trading moderators starting at 8:45 a.m. Eastern time through 4 p.m. Eastern time, and you will learn so much there it'll blow your mind. What about it, Jamie? You got a question? What you want to know about SoundHound? If not, I'm going to move on. If you're even still here. If you do, go ahead and type in your specific question. When you guys ask about, say, what about, or what do you think about, well, I need something more specific what you're looking at. Broad-based questions don't help me any. So if you want to know a certain thing, don't be afraid to ask. So
NQ.
NQ what? Oh, NQ's breaking up, coming up here to another record high. It's already hit do 52 weeks highs all day long. It was back here earlier. Now we're at 25,000. What do you think is going to happen to 25,000? What's so nice about that number? Huh? Somebody tell me. TikTok, what's so nice about that 25,000 number? Huh? Come on. What's nice about it? It's a nice round, even number. That's the answer. People like nice, round, even numbers, and you'll see that'll be a natural point of resistance over there on NQ, right? So now you're at 25,002. I would look for a pullback or people getting very excited and start pouring money into it. It can go either way. But that 25,000 is just a nice whole number, and that's what the market likes. They like those type of things. You'll see that all the time, whole dollars and all that kind of thing, right? So there's that 25,000 mark. There's a new 52-week high. So this is 25K, and I can even put a text in there. 25,000. Took a while, but it got there. There it is. And of course, this 52-week high would be where it's already hit up here. So I can change that line too here, but let's see, 25,002.75 for it pulled back. I wouldn't be surprised if it keeps going. So anyhow, there you go. There's a little nice number there for you. 25,000. We'll just make that yellow so it stands out right now. I got yellow and I got my gold lines of 52-week. This is the 52-week high here, right? Did the wrong thing. 52-week high. I meant to do the coordinates of 25,002.75. 5. Get my fat fingers out of the road there. We'll be all right. So there we go. Man, we got a new high. We hit a $25,000 mark. Nice, pretty number, right? So anyhow, we'll spread that out a little bit. Will that break up through? Well, it might. Gets exciting sometimes. Nice round thing. Is shorting a stock hard to resell it back? Absolutely not. But there has to be a buyer. We short here in futures all day long. As long as it's easier in the futures market. Now, if you're going to buy 10,000 shares of something and you want to short it, right, you're borrowing against it, the broker's holdings, and people are only buying them in lots of 200 when you want to get rid of them, yeah, you're going to have trouble getting rid of them. So you got to kind of want to make sure that when you do go to buy them back and put them back on the market, that they match kind of the average bid orders, right, the bid and ask. So you need to watch that. So trying to dump 10,000 shares back in to get rid of them, and they're only buying them in lots of 200, Yeah, you're going to have to break that up. You might have to go in thousands or whatever. I mean, obviously, if it's, they're selling 2, 3, 5,000s at a time and you've got 10,000, no, it probably won't be hard to get rid of them. But you have to have the volume. In other words, for you to buy something, somebody has to sell. For somebody to sell something, there has to be a buyer. So when you do a short, you're basically selling, right? You're borrowing against it, hoping the price goes down. Well, somebody has to buy that back when you buy them back, but there has to be somebody there to take that order. So that's the only danger if you get a low volume situation when you're trying to get out of your position. There has to be somebody there to do it. Shorting is a very dangerous thing. It's not for the faint of heart. You might want to make sure that you're really trained up when you short, because you could be caught holding the bag, and if they start jacking the price up, you got to get out, and it's going to cost you even more money, and you could end up with a margin call if you're not experienced. So it's not for the new people to do that. Now, we do this every day in futures. If I think the price is going up, I go long, and if I think the price is going down, I go short, right? So, and look at NASDAQ, brand new 52-week high. Wow. Look at that thing taking off. Amazing, isn't it? Very, very nice. And I'm not even hooked up here. What the heck? I'm not even hooked up here with my paper trading here. Let me fix that. Make sure I got real-time data here. Just now noticed I wasn't hooked up to it. So, anyway. All right, now we can play, right? So, I can go in here. Do I want to buy something, right? I can do that. Well, sure, I can come in here, but I better make sure where the orders are stacking up. Once you get into a new high, it's really hard to tell where to buy in or sell at. So basically, you go with even numbers. Watch your L2, see where people are stacking up at. Right around 13, which is kind of where that wick's at. That's kind of about where they want it. Usually when it shoots up this high, there'll be some profit taking. It might pull back on you. Here's your next candle. It's starting out red. It did start on the shoulder of the previous candle. However, people are taking some profit here. So we'll see if the market's going to get excited about this new number. If this has a good oomph to the upside, in other words, volume and buyers coming in, then you can, take a look at maybe thinking about it, right? Right now, the prices is dropping down. They're taking profits. There's no huge orders to the upside, which doesn't mean it won't go up. It's just it'll stair step if it does go up. But right now, they're debating what they want to do with this. So, so now we have a new 52-week high at 25.014.50. If I read that right. So there we go. So now it has to break through that before I would enter anyway. I want to see it break and hold above that level, right? So you got to make sure it really wants to go there before you do anything. Just a safer bet, put it that way, right? Nothing is for sure. All right. Yeah, so Mark, be very careful with shorting. I do it all day long, but it's its own thing. I actually like going short more than long, because when prices start dropping, you'll get into that. People get into a panic mode and they start panic selling. To me, my perception is easier to make money when it's going down than when it is going up. Just like this. How high is this going to go? Could this go to 26,000? Highly unlikely, but can it go up higher than it is right now? Yeah, it can if people want to do it. But I have no history from here up, right? It's at an all-new time high. But going down, I have all kinds of history that I can look at, my historical levels, as it goes down. So to me, it's just a little bit easier to go down. Now it may bounce off here, off this top of this trend channel, that green line here. That's the top of the trend channel. Red one's the bottom of the trend channel. And this gray line in the middle is diddling in the middle. Let's see if this can break and hold down here or not. What I'm looking for is to see if it wants to bounce off the 9 and break back up through the top of that trend channel. If not, if it breaks down below that, then you can go. And again, it might come back down to that 25,000 mark, but we'll see here, see if it bounces. It's more likely it's going to bounce here off the 9, but we don't know that, right? We're waiting and seeing, taking a look. So I'm watching my L2. It doesn't show that it really wants to at this moment drop down that far, but because we got 204s, 205 orders coming in there, and you got 208s and stuff to the 7s to the upside. So it might get in a holding pattern right here until they decide what they want to do with it. Now, can I jump back in here now if I wanted to? Yeah. I'd rather see it break and hold above that level there. Can I quick scalp it? Yeah, I can. I can quick scalp that for a couple bucks, right? You know, I can get in this, and if it goes green right there, see, I could have just took 125. See how that's changing there? 125. I could have clicked a button, made $125 in a matter of seconds. I'm going to give it a little bit of breathing room, see if it wants to break out. Hopefully it won't drop in the process. We'll see here. There's 250 I could have took. All right, there's 375 I could have took. Any one of these. Now, what you're seeing here is my paper trading account. This is not my real account. I always tell you up front, this is fake money. It's a, we call it paper trading. It's a simulated account. All your brokers will offer something like this. And while I'm talking, I'm losing money. To help you to learn how to use their software, test your entries and exits, make sure you know what you're doing before you even think about using real money, right? And I use it also here because I'm not going to risk my real account when I'm looking at a bunch of different monitors, answering your questions, those type of things. So I don't want to get distracted with my real account. This is my family's money, right? I don't want to flush it down the toilet while I'm educating somebody, right? Just doesn't make sense. I mean, you still got to watch out for yourself, right? Now look, see, I'm down $1,000, $1,300, right? So, you know, I could have took that money up there, but I was just telling you what was going on, right? So I could have had that 375. I just was talking. So this is how having a stop, you always trade with a stop. That way, that's the maximum amount I can lose in this trade, right? And I can adjust that as I need to. What is the ATR right now? 20. Yeah, I can tighten that up a little bit, but that's all right. Doesn't matter. I can just blank this out anytime I want. So is this going to go back up? Is it going to stay here and hold on to 9? It's been respecting the 9 a good deal of the day, but now we're in new territory. So you don't know what's going to happen, whether they just want to dump it and take a big profit or turn around and jump back in and ride the wave upward. Time will tell here in the next few seconds. So anyhow, yeah, that's why I use paper. And then I'll show you what not to do on purpose and what the result is. Just like this, letting it come down here and touch your stop. No, I would get out of that before it got that far in real life, right? My real money. Now, it's there to prevent me from knife drops that I don't have any control over. But you know, in this case, it's going to stop me out right here. Watch how this works. I'm going to let this come down. Watch this close out. If this comes down and hits that yellow line that goes across here, that'll trip my stop. That's the maximum amount I'll lose there. Bang. See how that worked? So that was the maximum amount. So if that had dropped, you know, all at once, that would have been my max loss, assuming it works. And it usually does in futures, okay? Always trade with a stop. It limits your downside. So I lost whatever that said, $3,700, something like that. So again, paper money, it's not real. Don't get excited. No, I wouldn't have held on to it that long in a real life trade. Have I? Yes, obviously. But anyway, so I got a break and hold below the 9, but my problem is I got the 25,000 right there, right? That magic number. For me to want to re-enter this trade to the downside, I want to see a break and hold below the 25,000 now. So that means I have to have a candle break down below it and another candle start on the shoulder of the other one before I want to enter it. Okay? So I do that on purpose just to kind of make sure it has enough oomph to get through there. And as you can see, it's resisting going back down below that level. So it's break. Do you hold a lot of stocks overnight or only day trade? I never hold anything overnight unless I'm doing a swing trade, and I'm not really a swing trade. I'm a dabbler, a hobbyist in swing trading, but no, I do not. I am in and out. I am a momentum trader. Now, I do trade at night, but I don't hold anything overnight. I'm in and out of my trades in a matter of seconds to minutes. I'm a scalper, and I'm not holding anything overnight unless I'm doing a purposeful swing trade. And I have done a few, but I would not, I'm never, not even come close to describing myself as a swing trader. I'm a scalper, mainly. It's the main way I trade. Play coaches 2-minute EWO also. So let's see if this wants to bow back up here or not. We're back at the 225.03. I want to see what we got here. I want to wait to break a hold above the 9, which is my white line, before I would jump in. But no, I don't hold anything overnight. That's just not the way I operate. Nothing wrong with that. We have a lot of successful swing traders in here. In fact, Ralph's one of them, one of our moderators. He loves the swing trades and his main investment strategy. Mine's scalping off the 9, breaking hold of the 9 type of trading. There's 2-minute EWOs. There's all kinds of different ways to trade. different trading strategies. So there's nothing wrong with holding them overnight, as long as that's your trading strategy and you have a reason for it, right? So, plus you have to have the overnight margin with most brokers. So you got to take that into effect. Your account has to be a little bit larger to cover that increased margin requirements if your broker requires it. Now, all of them don't. So, oh, there's Oracle trade today. Made $900 out of this world. Good job over there, Oracle, over on our YouTube live chat. Good job. It's come a long way. Making money now. Just sell it. How's our Canuck friend up there from Canada? North. Here every day, practically. Miguel says, what's the best platform to paper trade options? TradingView, I would say, in my experience. I love TradingView's paper trading. It's a subscription base. You got to pay for TradingView, but then you have to have the real-time data also. Well, what's this thing doing here? It's just going crazy up here. Let's go watch right here at this level right here. You can see these candles here. See what that does. That was one big gamma candle. Got another 3 seconds till the next candle starts. Let's see what happens with this. Nope, didn't start on the shoulder of the previous. It's a little bit weaker. Doesn't mean it can't go up. It's just a little bit weaker. That's all. I'm always looking for the one stair step. The only way it can stair step up is if it starts on the shoulder of the previous one. Okay. So like here, bang, up. This one didn't. It pulled down. This one here kind of started on the shoulder, went down. This one's short on the shoulder. The other one went down. And of course, then I had a critical level here, that 25,000, right? Nice purdy number, right? They're going to respect that for a while. Does TradingView have an option? Have options paper trading? No, you can't trade options on TradingView. Stocks or futures at this time. But your broker, your individual broker you sign up with will have paper trading of some sort. Some are better than others. Weebles is okay. It leaves a lot to be desired in the way that the widgets stay on there before and after your trade. I mean, even though it executes it, you just have to get used to the fact it may take 10 or 15 seconds for the widgets to actually disappear off your screen, even though it was executed. You can check out almost all of them for free to some extent. Some of them require a deposit before they allow you to paper trade. Others don't. So you can just check them all out. Find which one suits you. Hey, Eric, let's go. All right, 7K this morning. Eric, good job. I heard you a little bit there listening in on Tiki Talk. All right, what other questions do we have? Let's see. That's it right now, right? Thoughts on NLR. I have no thoughts on LNR. I never heard of it. Doesn't mean I had anything bad about it. I just never heard of it. Look at sound. Still climbing. Somebody asked about that, but they didn't come back and ask what they wanted to know. NLR. Now, uranium and nuclear ETF. Never heard of it, but there's 10,000 things you can invest in, right? What you have to do is just look at the long term. What kind of earnings do they have? How do they work? What's making the price move? I can see the price has gone up pretty good today. One thing I don't like that I see just by looking at the chart, see all these little dots here? That means there's no volume, right? So this may be a low volume trader, which doesn't help you with your, this is a lightly traded ETF, just by basing on the dots. Now, can I put it on a time frame, higher time frame? Yeah. Let's see what it looks like on a 5. Don't look too bad on a 5. It's got more candles here. Let me drop down to a 2. I'm just not thrilled with the 1 and 2 minute volumes. You have to really get to about a 3 or 5 minute to really get some good candles that you can see. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people trade on a 5 minute chart. It's whatever you like. But I can see that it is a lower trading volume without digging deep into it, right? So, anyhow. All right. Maverick says snap. Are you saying snap as a curse word, or are you saying snap as a stock? All right. There you go. There's snap. There's on a 5 minute chart. There's a 1 minute chart. See the difference in the candles between this and the last one we just looked at, right? It's got more candles, bigger candles in it, right? And also it's It's in a downward trend. It's at the 200 MA. I wouldn't touch it if you weren't already in it, right? Wait for the entry, break, and hold above the 200 for sure before I would get into that. But anyway, what's your question about it? What do you want to know? Again, you guys are asking broad questions or saying out something. I need to know what it is you want to know specifically. And just so you know, neither I or anyone else here associated with American Dream Trading are licensed financial advisors, and such as we cannot give you legal, tax, or investment advice. Now, if you got a question about it, we can talk about it, but I will never tell you to get in it. It's a good buy or a bad buy, right? If you're in it, it's trash or whatever. Can't do that. That's up for you to. Can we just see the settings of your indicators? Well, these indicators are built right into, this is for our paid members. They get Coaches 3.0 indicators. But I am using the 9, the 21, the 55, VWAP, the 200. This is a trend channel that's built into it also. I'm also using volume indicators. We have an ATR indicator over here, and we have Coaches EW. We use this Elliott Wave Oscillator for Coaches 2-minute EWO trading strategy. There's nothing out of the secret on here, right, per se. Now, know what all these things mean and how to put them all together and how they mean as a separate trend line and how do they work in relationship, what do they mean in relationship to each other is a different story, right? Those are things you learn. That's what we will educate you on. So anyway, Snap is participating with the TikTok buying. Okay, I'll take your word for that. Again, what do you want to know about Snap specifically, the stock? All right, we'll wait on you. All right, let's see. Oh, not much. You just wanted, do I swing trade or trade all day long? No, I'm not a swing trader. I am basically, you might as well just say I'm a scalper. I trade all day long. I try to have the bulk. Well, bulk of my trading is done before, just like everybody else, 12, 1 o'clock. But try to be done in the mornings. That's when the bulk of the volume's in there. However, I do start trading 2 a.m. in the morning Eastern time, so I usually have a full day in by noon. So, but I do trade all day. I got to be here all day. I'm a moderator, so why not make money while I'm sitting here, right? How can your fans send you money? Wow. Well, if you were a member of our free Discord, they do have a tip the moderator QR codes on there. You can pick the moderator you'd like to send a tip to, but you have to be a part of our free Discord to be able to get that. I can't tell you to send me money as far as that goes. But all our moderators do have a QR code that if you feel they've done a good job, that you are able to Cash App them. Now, it has to be through Cash App only. So if you have Vimo and all that, you got to have Cash App. So, all right. What are the requirements of trading off the 9? Well, there's no requirements. Now, what I do, my entry generally is break and hold above the 9, right? So, and that goes for going up or going down. So if I'm going to the upside, the long side, there's my break, there's my hold. It's sitting on the shoulder of the previous candle. That's what I want to see. So I would enter this trade here because it had an oomph to move up. When I say oomph, it's just kind of a visual thing. It's got volume coming into it. So I would enter, who knows, halfway up this candle, right? If I thought that was it. Now I do have this 55. It might have exercised a little bit of caution, but during the break and hold generally, you can get a couple candle run out of it. Same way coming down. Here's the break. That hold didn't start above the shoulder of the previous one, but this one did. So then I would trade that down and I would stay in the trade as long as it stays below or stays above the 9, right? So as long as that stays above that, you should be good to go. Once it breaks below it, well, now you gotta, once it starts like it is here, it gets heavy. This is where your education kicks in, right? Do I stay in the trade? Do I get out of the trade? Has it broken held below the 9? No. Did it break below the 9? Yes, but did it break and hold below the 9? Why didn't it this time? Well, right there's a critical level, right? So that was a prior 52-week high. I haven't updated this chart here. Let me do that since we're talking about it. And all right, so the new 52-week high, and they've been setting new highs all day long, is 67.52 even. So now I have that in there. pop that, and that'll bump that up to this candle back here. And he hit that at about 150 right before we went live. So, anyhow, yeah, that's what I do. I want the confirmation candle. When I say confirmation candle, now we have other traders in our group don't wait for the confirmation, and they do just fine. I'd rather see the confirmation candle. It shows me that it may want to continue. Do I give up some dollars doing that? Yeah, but I think I'm also saving dollars by not entering too soon and have it pull back on me. So I do want to see it sitting on the shoulder, which means, if you don't already know, the body of a candle on a green candle going up, the bottom of the candle is where the price started, the top of the candle is where the price finished. These long wicks, that is the gyration during that time period that candle moved. But the bottom of the candle on a green candle is where it started, top of the candle is where it ended. So ideally, I want to see the next candle start where the ending price was of the previous candle. Same way going down. Now, going down, what we would say top, right? It's actually the bottom of the candle because it's inverted, but this part of the candle is the price it started at. That is the price that it finished at, right? It's just the inverse. So, that's why I would like to see that. It's a little bit more conservative, right? It saves me from getting my face ripped off by just one candle peaking and then pulling back on me, right? That's all. You can do it however you want, right? So I know we have some very successful traders, and I've discussed that with them. They don't wait for the break and hold. If they see, especially like something with double bottom bounces and those type of things, well, as soon as it goes through the 9, they'll get in it because they see the volume pouring into it, right? And so they'll go ahead and do it. Will they maybe make a few bucks more than me? Yeah. Maybe not. Maybe they have more losing trades because of that. I don't know. Obviously, they're successful. They do it all the time, so they know what they're talking about. I wait just for that confirmation candle to be on the shoulder of the previous and get some oomph to the upside, right? And then I'll enter. So to me, that works better for the way and my style of trading. To each his own, right? We have all kinds of different trading strategies that Coach teaches, and you can apply the ones for the situations as the need arises. And like me, that is my main trading strategy. I'm pretty much a simpleton, right? That's pretty simple. When it crosses the white line, which is the 9 EMA, right, which is a measurement of the last 9 candles, and then it draws a trend line and it updates continuously. So that is my main break and hold of the 9. Now there's a 2-minute EWO, there's channel trading, there's swing trading, there's Coach teaches you how to do all these things, because I'm not always going to be able to do a break and a hold of the 9 sometimes, right? It just may be bopping back and forth and never really go below, and I can channel trade that, right? It could go up here, it could hit the 9 and bounce up and hit this other historical level and come right back down, hit the 9 and go right back up again, right? It gets into this W pattern or M pattern, right? Well, it didn't really break and hold, right? It bounced off of. That's a different thing. So that would be like a channel trading. So you can make a lot of money doing that too if you can get a well-defined channel, right? Let's say this comes up here, hits our 52-week high and bounces back. Statistically, that's what it's going to do. Doesn't mean it will, right? I got to watch to see what it's doing, but it is the high of the day, right? So it's going to want to naturally, people are going to want to take profit because they don't know how much higher it's going to go. So can I make a quick scalp on that? Yep, I could. I can go just like that, right? Now, well, I didn't log into paper trading on this one. Hang on. Forgot to hit the button. There we go. So, all right. I was paper trading live in front of our members today. It was up $15,000. Can I come in here now and play the statistical average with a double top, triple top? Yeah, I can, right? But here's the other thing. You got to watch. It's best to wait and see what it's going to do a little bit, right? Because people might be getting excited. It's a new high. But statistically, yes, it's going to pull back here. How far is yet be determined. But I'm already at, a minimum of a double top, right here. So statistically, right there it is. Bang. I just made $375 that quick while I was yakking, right? Could I let it went further? Yeah, I could have. But, who knows? Maybe people are excited. It's a new high, right? Or it's testing it again. So maybe it's going to go higher and they want to go the other way. Could I made a few bucks more waiting and see if it went to the 9? Yeah, I could have. All right. Boomer, you got your hand up. One of our paid members. What's up, buddy?
Fro,
What's up?
I don't want to interrupt your messages, but I just wanted to ask you, when was the last time you looked at Dave?
Yesterday, I think, maybe. No, not
Did you?
yesterday. No, yesterday I wasn't home all day. Would have been probably Saturday, maybe.
Did you see it was up for, we were talking about
Oh,
it
you're
in
talking
your
about the
earnings.
stock, Dave. Oh, I thought you were talking about your postings. No, I
No, no,
haven't. I
no.
haven't looked at it since that week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Are you
yeah.
still playing that
When you
thing?
get it? No, it was too volatile.
Ooh,
But
look at
look
the
at it.
price on that sucker. $240. Gee, many Christmas.
When you put it in your earnings, it was 192.50.
Wow.
August 6th.
Hey, that's the power of the VIP Gold newsletter that are only available to our VIP Gold and Diamond memberships. And Boomer here, he played. We was joking about it because of the name, but he actually played us and made money on it, just based on the information that was in the VIP Gold newsletter. And he shared that
Yeah,
with me.
your newsletter gave me $1,150 on a
Uh,
little 4-day play
on Dave,
on Dave. Yes, sir.
way to go, Boomer. Boomers
Yeah.
rule. Boomers
I just
rule.
Mark is awesome.
Ah, so's Boomer.
Yeah. All right. I didn't want to
No, that's
interrupt your
good.
flow.
Great.
I just wanted to
Yeah, I haven't
show
looked
you
at
what
it since that week. All right.
it's been doing well, I guess, huh?
I guess 190 to 241. Yeah, I'd say it's done well in a few weeks. Good.
Just almost $50. Yeah.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Too bad I'm not in it. I just did one play.
Yeah, well, don't give any of it back. You already got money off of them, right?
Yeah,
How I
I'm
see
not
it.
giving it.
Make enough money off something. I get, I don't know if you, I don't want to say superstitious. I'm not superstitious, but I don't want to give anything back to that I just got a lot of money. Of course, I do it every day. I go trade the NASDAQ. I trade gold. I do the same things over and over again. So I guess that
And
really
killing
doesn't
it.
hold water.
And
Gold's
killing
been,
it, right?
do what?
And you've been killing it.
Oh yeah, especially gold. I got gold's number. I can trade gold all day with my eyes shut. Look at that. You know what this is,
It came
Dave?
from
You know what this is, Boomer? I'll tell you what that is. That's a gold new high, I
Ching
think.
Ching.
See here, let me see. 37.82 and a half. Yep, gold new high, new record high.
Nvidia was like 20 cents from all-time high this morning.
Oh, it
Dropped a
was.
little bit.
See, that
Yeah.
tells you how much I pay attention. I mean, I did hear. I was listening to Coach for a few minutes off and on here and there, and I heard Maria call it out, and I pulled that chart up, showed every. Matter of fact, I still have it up on my other monitor. Thing went straight to the moon. I mean, that thing went straight up. I was like, holy cow! But I didn't even. I hold it. That's one of my long-term holdings I've had for a while,
You
and
did good on that one
I don't
today.
even look at it because I don't care. I have no intention of selling it anyway. So I don't really personally care what Nvidia does day to day because that's not the reason I bought it,
Long
right?
term. Long term.
Yeah, long term. So
Well, who says you don't emulate the Dave guy?
well, I just have it. It's not that I don't have long term holdings. I just don't buy things currently for the long term. You know what I mean? That's not my. And I already own these, so I haven't bought any. Well, I'm just going to stop there. I don't want to say more than I need to because I do have other things going on. But
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah. Well,
so yeah, but that's not my main investment strategy at the time. At the present, it's show up every day, make money because I love doing it. Right. So I like the momentum trade. I like the day trading. But yes, I do have long-term holdings, and I'm about to acquire more, but in a different way. So anyway. All right. When does oil move the most? Winging it with Frat asks. Oh, whenever
pretty
there's
good, Mark.
volume coming in it.
But
Uh,
that's just.
what's that?
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. When does oil move that much? Well, obviously during the New York Stock Exchange open, but oil is traded 23 hours a day in the futures. There's no real bad time because there can be volume anytime. Obviously, there's times in the late evenings, maybe 10 o'clock after till whatever 2 o'clock. when most people are sleeping, right? It varies, but oil is one of the most, highly traded things after you don't count the indices and the metals, but energies is heavily traded, right? And the way to find that out is to just pull up CL, the chart CL, right? And go back and review it, right? You can put it on like a 1 hour chart or whatever and go back and look and see at the different time zones where you see a lot of movement, right? And then just go scroll back for a couple of weeks. You'll get a feel for when it likes to trade. I think you'll find a lot of it's during the market open. Now, I do not like trading, me personally, I do not like trading energy and metals after, say, 1:30, 2 o'clock, just because the volume tends to drop during those time frames. And the reason I don't, it's not that you can't make money. I have, and I do. It's just that if it pulls back, say if you get a big knife drop due to low volume, well, it's that much harder because the volume's not there, you know what I mean, as there would be earlier in the day, to recover and get back your losses if you can, if it's possible. Right now, oil's way down. It's down to 62. So 62.33, I guess, somewhere in that neighborhood. So yeah, it's just that you should know those things, whatever it is you're trading, indices, gold, whatever. I love trading gold. Gold's always, matter of fact, I started out trading oil. That's how I built my account, trading 1 micro of MCL, right? And does that mean it's going to bounce back soon? Well, this is a pure opinion, all right? This is not investment advice, but I've been saying it for 6-8 months. We actually have an oil glut, right? I'm surprised that this is even going for $60 or more a barrel, because we have more oil than we need. And I'm talking about worldwide. I'm not just talking to U.S., right? Futures is worldwide. It's not U.S. specific, right? Everybody needs oil. Everybody drills. Every major company drills oil, right? And we've had an oil glut. I forget what the figure was. It was over 1% of the total world's needs is just sitting around, right? That 1% doesn't sound like much, but you figure out how many gallons that is, how many barrels that is. That's a lot of money, right? Just sitting around. Yeah, they're still drilling every day. Then OPEC is also increasing their supply to an already overabundance of oil in the world markets. And every major country drills oil, so it's not like, it's only coming from Saudi Arabia. It comes from all over the world. Everybody drills. It's in every hemisphere, practically every country. Every state in the United States drills oil, right? So I don't know if Hawaii does, but anybody know if Hawaii drills oil? I don't know. Can't imagine. I just don't picture oil wells on Hawaii, but then again, why not, right? I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know. So I am kind of my personal view. This does not reflect the views of American Dream Trading or its members or coach. As I am surprised it is when it does get up to 63, 65, 67. Now, a lot of that is conflict driven, right? We still have overseas conflict going on. All it takes is somebody to try to impede one of the Gulf states over there and try to attempt to stop the flow of oil, rumors of war, right? Any of those kind of things. And, it affects oil, right? So there's a lot of things that drive the cost of oil. It's just not how much we have, right? All it takes is one good conflict and the oil price is going to shoot up. All it takes is for somebody to slow oil's departure out of the Strait of Hormuz, right? And there goes the price of the oil, right? So there's a lot of geopolitical things that drive the price of oil more than anything, probably, versus how much of it we really have. So it's very interesting read. And our members in their futures newsletter that I publish, there's been quite a few extensive articles on that very thing. So what drives it, right? Good question, though. All right. Yeah, NVIDIA shot to the moon on news today. They announced a humongous $100 gazillion investment in AI or something to that effect. I was listening out of one ear to Coaches Live off and on today. I know I heard Maria call it out, and then wondered what was going on, and they looked up the news and had something to do with a large investment in AI. I don't know if it was in one company or they were just, I don't know. I didn't catch the whole thing, so I'd rather not speak on it and give you misinformation. You can Google that. Boomer, did you have another question, or did you just not lower your hand?
No, I lowered my hand and raised it again.
Okay, sir, what's your question?
So I was looking at MCL
Okay.
in the micro of what you
Yeah,
were
same
talking about.
differences, same chart as what you
Yeah.
see here, CL.
Yeah. So the contract that I'm looking at is November 25.
Okay.
So if I was going to want to look at a long-term trade, and I know that that's not something that you actually teach in here, but
You can.
more towards my philosophy of holding, what would I need to keep just to buy one contract? Say on the micro, and the maintenance margin is 607,
Hmm.
and the initial margin 667. So would I have to have how much?
If you
667
buy
to
it during the day and you're going to hold it like a swing trade overnight till you decide to sell it, whether it's a week or 6 weeks or 6 months down the road, you got to have that maintenance margin in there. If
maintenance
you're going to
margin?
buy
Okay.
it at night after hours, then you're going to pay the overnight margin. Okay, so the maintenance margin is if you already own it and you bought it, like say during the day. That's what you have to have in your account to keep that from being sold off.
So right now I could in the micro, micro, it's 166 intraday, and then it
Okay.
goes to six. So that's what I could buy it for right now,
Yep.
and then to keep it past close of day, close of business, I had to have 607.
Correct.
Okay. And now the next question, the follow-up question, it says November 25. So when does that actually expire? Is there actually a date to that?
Yeah, at the end of the month.
Oh, the
Yeah,
last day
it's
of the month?
last.
Last Friday of the
Yeah,
month?
if you go to CME, it actually spells out exactly. I can't tell you off the top of my head, but if you go to CME's
Okay.
website
Okay.
and look up
Yeah, I've
CL,
I've been there before.
yeah,
Yeah, I've
it
been there
will
for.
tell you the. Some of them is like the Friday before so many days before the end of the month, yada yada yada. It'll spell out like on a Friday of 6 days before, whatever it is, and some of them are different. So that will spell out exactly. Now all you do is just roll it over. You can keep holding it, right?
Oh, you can
Yeah,
roll.
you
It
just
doesn't
roll it
actually
over into the
expire.
next one. That's all. Yeah,
And basically, if you roll it over, it's going to be at the same margins, right?
yeah. It doesn't change. I mean, only time it goes up is if like FOMC meeting or one of those kind of
Yeah,
things.
if they change the margin
Hmm.
requirements.
Yeah,
If
they
the
have the right
broker
to raise
changes.
or lower the rates, but
Ah,
once you buy it at that price, you don't have to cough up more money for that purchase, but you may have to cough up money for the increased margin at night if that's what they decide. And I don't even know if that's true if you're already in the contract, but you may have to. Well, yeah, because if I'm in a contract during FOMC, it goes from 1,000 to 4,000, right? So they have the right to raise that up during the high volatility periods. So,
yeah, like they did this past week.
yeah,
Week
right, exactly.
on something. I don't know if it was oil, but I saw margin increases on
Yeah, they do it
other
across the
things.
board, mainly
Okay,
the
across the board.
indices.
Okay.
It's where it's at mostly is the indices. And that's to keep
Okay.
the
Dave,
small players out so they don't wreck their account.
Okay. All right.
Dave.
Thanks so much again.
Yes, sir. James, got your hand up. What's up, James?
Hey, Mark. How you doing, sir?
Good, sir.
I just wanted to bring your attention. You actually had a question over on Twitch. Rykin, Rikyn.
Okay.
Don't ask me. What made you switch from options to futures?
Well, one thing, Coach started the futures program. And Coach and the other moderators, and specifically Coach and Bruno and Ange and Aaron at the time, built up that program from nothing. And I started checking it out and looked at it, and I'm like, dang, I could do this. This ain't any different than what I already did. Coach has already educated us, all of us, on how to trade futures without us not even knowing it. Why is that? Because all the rules and trading strategies and techniques and how to do a chart, how to read a chart, what the chart's telling you are exactly the same no matter what you're trading. Now, I already knew that, but it was eye-opening the first 5 minutes that I looked at my first futures contract and all that and chart. I'm like, I already know how to do this. What's the problem? Now, I did have to learn some new lingo, right? I had to learn really the only obstacle for me coming over and trading the very first second that I saw it was knowing how to set my stops, because it is a little different than trading options. There was two key things that made me never ever want to look at options, stock options, ever again. It's not saying I won't, right? Never say never. But in my present state of mind and my present walk in life, I will never trade another stock option as long as I live. Now, will that opinion change next week? Who knows, right? But since I've came to futures, I have lost 100% desire to trade a stock option. And why is that? There's two main reasons. Number one, there are no Greeks to deal with in futures. So, with the Greeks, now there's advantages and disadvantages. With the Greeks in trading stock options, if you get a big candle, we call it gamma candles, right? Because it has a lot of volume in it, a lot of people jumping in, right? You'll get these huge candles, right? And with the Greeks, that accelerates your earning. It's like almost like a multiplier on your delta, right? How much you get paid per dollar of movement. And that will, with all the math, and I'm not going to even attempt to try to explain it. I have no clue how they do the math. I don't care. All I know is when you get a big gamma candle, it's like putting fuel on the fire, right? And then you got to throw in the theta and then all the other stuff too. So they all work in tandem. It's not just one thing, but it's the oversimplified form is what I should say. You get a big gamma candle like this where there's a lot of volume coming in, it actually multiplies, and multiplying may not be the right word, it accelerates your earnings. So if I'm in a futures contract and I'm in an options contract and we're both trading the indices, let's say ES, right? The option player will make more money in that same candle in this price movement, just using, let's say, this candle right here, right? This great big candle. Because the options contract has that, just think of it as a multiplier, it's an accelerant. It makes your earnings grow that much faster, okay? So in this case, this one shot down here and went up. So if I was in the futures and the person was in the options, again, there's no options for oil, but that's just talking about the chart, okay? The option person would make more money than I did. Is this significant? Yeah, I don't know. I've done the math after the fact a couple times, and then, well, matter of fact, we did one the other day. I'd have made 2,000, they made 2,500, something like that, right? In the same movement. Now, the downside of that is, if this drops, they also have an acceleration of losses. I don't. Okay, so where I don't get the acceleration, right, of profits, mine, if it goes up $1, I make $1. If it goes down $1, I lose $1, much like a stock. Think of it like a contract for stocks, and they're kind of around. Again, I'm oversimplifying. I get paid X amount of pennies or dollars for every price movement. It's a fixed amount. So if I get paid $10 for every 10 cents oil goes up, which is what you do get paid, by the way, it goes up 10 cents, I make $10. If it comes down 10 cents, I give that $10 up. But if it goes back up to that 10 cents, I get that $10 back. Where in an option, if it goes up, I make 10 cents. But if it drops, I'll lose 10 cents. But to get my 10 cents back, I may have to make 15, right? When it goes back up to get that same 10 cents in value back, because of the way the contracts are designed. The contract is eroding every minute. So those numbers are always changing. So there's a lot goes into it. I don't have to deal with any of that, right? Yes, I am. Am I giving up some profit? Yes, I am, right, on acceleration. But day in, day out, yeah, I don't care, right? To me, it's not that significant, right? Because that now my risk is lost. So if this pulls back, I lose $1, I might have to make $2 or $3 to get my dollar back. Well, I don't have to do that with futures. Once it goes down, and if it goes right back up, I'm back at the exact same amount of earnings immediately. The second, and probably the greatest, equally great in my opinion, probably 50-50 between the two, is that I have instant cash settlement of my trade. So when I get in this trade, it debits me whatever it is, $1,000, right, out of my account. Okay, I get into account, I get into trade, I get out of the trade. Hopefully I made money in that trade. As soon as I click exit to get out of that trade, finalize it, that margin goes back instantly into my account, as does the profits or minus losses. And then I can immediately turn around and take that money right back out, not only the margin, but I can also trade my profits right away, instantly, instant cash settlement. So I could trade the same, in theory, the same $1,000 10,000 times a day if I wanted to. If I was a good trader making money, right? I could trade that same $1,000, right, 1,000 times. I can't do that in stock options. Why? Because once I use up my settled cash, which doesn't settle till the next day. So if I only have 1,000 in my account and I make two $500 trades, I've used up my $1,000 settled cash. I'm done for the day. I can't trade again until tomorrow. None of those limitations. It's that much less rules that I got to deal with. And everybody knows I'm a boomer. Yes, I do follow rules, but I like less restrictions on my life. I want to be me. I just want to be me, right? So I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it without those restrictions. So between not having to deal with the pullback, and it's only the pullback of the Greeks that worry me, right? And I traded options for 2 years, so I know I know how to do it. And I was very successful at doing it, right? But I don't miss that little bit of whatever, I don't know. You can compare them dollar to dollar in some cases, but I don't miss that potential profit gain as much as I do not having to deal with a pullback, because you are going to get pullbacks, right? Look at all the red candles just in this oil trade. Let's just say this was an options trade, right? Well, I went up here. Let's say I got in right here. I went up, and guess what? It pulled back. I gave up my options. It accelerated my losses. Now I got to get back up to here to break even again, right? And then what did it do? Turn around, dropped again, went back up. Then I had some other big drop, just all that, right? Well, I don't have to deal with anything. It went up 10 cents. I made $10. It comes down 10 cents. I lose $10. It goes back up my 10 cents. I immediately get all my money back, right? So to me, that's worth it. It's just one less headache, right? So
Mark?
Yes, sir.
Would a shorter version of that be it was an evolutionary move?
Well, I don't know about it. It's not, futures is not better, right? Futures is not better. It's just different, right? Just like trading stock options is not better than trading stocks. It's different. It's a different thing, right?
Well, I mean in the sense as you learned this, you learned this, you learned this, you learned not one's any better than the other. Just it's the evolving process of learning.
All right. Now I could get 10 other members come in here and look at futures and like, screw this. I don't get an acceleration of earnings. I'm going back to options. And they wouldn't be wrong, right? It just depends what you value. To me, I value not having the pullback of the Greeks and have to make more money just to get my same money back, and instant cash settlement. Those two things alone is my biggest selling point to me personally. Now, so there's other things too, right? So to each his own. One's not necessarily better than the other, right? And the thing of it is, Coach teaches us how to do this. And you learn that by trading stocks. You learn that by trading stock options. And all of these things that Coach teaches us every single day, and the other training moderators that parrot the Coach's teachings, right? Because they work. Everything, it applies to, I don't care what you can go trade tomatoes if you want to, right? If you can read a chart and know how to chart a chart, you can trade tomatoes. I don't know, tomatoes are tradable, but you know what I mean. I can take the same principles, the same trading strategies, and go trade crypto. How do I know that? Because I've sat in on the crypto Zoom calls and listened to Chris and Bucko educate us on that. Now, am I doing it? No. But I was a couple times, just to be a smart aleck, I told them what was going to happen on their chart before it happened. Well before it happened. And then it hit dead on right what I said. Why? Because we've learned from Coach how to read a chart, and using our indicators, right? Using the L2, putting all these tools together. A chart's a chart's a chart. I know that sounds corny, but it's the truth. If you can do a stock chart, you can do a stock options chart, you can do a cryptos chart, and you can do a futures chart. You can do a bond chart. You can do treasury bill charts. You can trade anything that's tradable in the world. Cryptos, right? Crap coins in crypto, anything. It's all the same thing. A chart's a chart. And that's just an easy way of saying once you learn these principles, They're 100% applicable to everything. Sure, there's different lingo, and there's different ways that you got to open different brokers, and there's special rules for each investment vehicle, and you'll learn all those things too. We teach you and educate you on all that stuff because that's what we do. We're an education and training program. So, oh hey, Coach. Coach is over there in the Tiki Talk. The real Coach. How's it going? Double tap them screens, Coach says, and follow. Thank you, Coach. All right. So, it's what you like, Do I, the one, and we're not going to say his name, but we all know who, probably that we're aware of, one of our traders that probably has one of the largest trading accounts that we're aware of on a normal basis. And this person does share his P&L from time to time, and they're awesome, right? They're mind-blowing, the numbers this one member can generate in profits, right? But you don't see him over here trading futures, do you? Why is that? Why does he need to, right? He's killing it trading stocks and stock options. And yes, he does trade stocks too. And he trades penny stocks also in the pre-market. And he kills it, right? There's no reason I have no doubt he can come over here and kill it too. And he may someday come over and just to look at it. And he may already know how to do it. I don't know, right? But he has no reason to because he's doing what he loves. And if you find something that you love, then why change it? If it's working for you, why would I want to look elsewhere, right? So I just like learning all the different things. Crypto will be the next thing, but I'm kind of not doing crypto on purpose because I'm already spending 12, 14 hours a day here with American Dream Trading. And then if my wife sees me trading on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, I'm going to be looking for a new wife. Not because I want to, because she's going to go tell me to find a new one. You know what I mean? You got to have a balance, right? Can I trade everything? Yeah, I could. And I've not opened a crypto. Now I have traded actual Bitcoin. I do have a cold wallet, air gap wallet, yada, 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 right? So I have traded it, real Bitcoin, right? But I'm not into crypto. I can't tell you about your little crap coins, your little meme coins, right? That's not my cup of tea. It doesn't presently interest me, even though I know I can go to crypto right now and kill it over there too. There's not a doubt in my mind. Is that just being cocky? No, I know in my knower that I know I could. Why? Because those are the principles coaches taught us how to do these things. And as such, I'm very confident I can go anywhere. And it has nothing to do that I'm highly intelligent. I'm not the brightest bulb in the pack. I mean, come on, I'm only using the break and hold above the 9. That's what a simpleton I am. It works for me. So why am I worried about it, right? I was sitting here watching for cup and handles and inverted flying cows over the purple moon while with a bent right leg at a 45-degree angle trading strategy. No, I'm using something simple. Breaks and holds above the 9. Where's the 9? That's that old white line. Okay, when it breaks and holds, I'm going to enter the trade after I look at the rest of the information, right? After I look at the big picture, obviously, right? But, I'm oversimplifying it, but it works for me. I like it. I enjoy it. It's easy. It's not complicated. I'm not worried about a cup and handle. I do watch for, obviously, those. I don't know how many times our members say, is that a cup and handle? I'm like, I don't know. Let me look. And then I have to stand on my head. Yeah, I guess you're right. That is. But until somebody points it out, it's not something I actively think about. Are those things important to know? You better believe they're important to know, right? It's painting a picture of what may be about to happen. So then maybe I'm thinking about it subconsciously. I don't know. But I don't think I am. Now, double tops, double bottoms, obviously I pay attention to them, right? Here what did I tell you here about this earlier with ES and NQ, right? They're setting new highs. I wouldn't get in NQ till it broke and held above this new 52-week high. Why? Because that's a monumental achievement for the NASDAQ, right? So people are going to be leery about throwing new money in there till they see what somebody else wants to do. So I'm going to wait till see what somebody else does before I do, right? And it's a vicious cycle. Nobody ends up doing anything. And that's why you get consolidation, right? Everybody's buying and selling here instead of pushing and throwing their money behind everything and pushing it upward. They just don't know what to do yet, right? Obviously, this number's higher now, right? So I can move that up. The new high is 25,019 right now, and 0.25. So that's the new high. I left that. I'm slow to move my new record highs up because generally those will come back to the previous record high or 52-week high, just as a support level per se. That's why I don't move these up right away. I have been today because they keep changing. It's changed about 5 or 6 times today, new record highs. So anyhow, yeah, so I don't get into, me personally, again, all these things that I'm saying, cup and handle, and other people get down and break it down into, 3 soldiers and 3 black crows and, all these different things. And that's fine. You do need to understand what candles are doing and reading the candles. You know what I care about? All I care about is break and hold. Where's my historical levels at? And where are my indicators and what are they telling me? Where's VWAP in the 200? That's all I care about. I don't care if it's a cup and handle, right? And again, maybe I do, but subconsciously, just because it's how I've been trained by coach, right? These are these things. This is what this means. This is what that can mean statistically, right? Nothing works 100%. Even a double top, what happens at a double top? It will stop. It may even bounce back. There's a higher statistical odds that it's going to reject off that double top and pull back and then go back up and retest. That's the statistics. How much of that what's the statistical percentage? I don't know. Maybe it's 80%. All right, let's just say it's 80%. 80% of the time it's going to hit a double top and it's going to pull back and then it'll probably come back up and retest. Or it'll reject altogether and everybody will say, well, it ain't going any higher today. I'm going to sell everything, right? And it'll just crash out. Well, but the thing about statistics, don't forget now, if there's an 80% chance that it's going to do that, that means there's a 20% chance it'll blow right through it and don't give a rat's butt that that's a double top and it's just going to go to the moon. And if you automatically sell right at the double top, you could be missing out on profits. Well, all you do is exit your position and get out. So I'd rather wait as it gets there to pause myself, right, before I enter the trade. Now, if I'm in the trade and when it approaches a double top, what do? Every time, I'll tell you what I do every time. I get out before it hits it. I lock in my profits. If it jumps out, if it decides to keep going at that whatever percentage it is, 20, let's say it's 20%, mythical number, right, that it's going to blow through it, then I'll jump back in once it breaks and holds above that level. But I do like everybody else does. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to bail at double tops or new levels and new, VWAP or the 200, the critical areas on a chart, right? So I'm almost without fail, if I'm paying attention, I will sell my position off right before it hits the, let's say in this case, the 52. We got this line here. We know that's new, right? So that's going to be a point of contention for a while. This is on the Dow, by the way, which I need to adjust that line. Let's go back to the NASDAQ because that's where it's fighting at, right? Look how many times it's tried to get through and it hasn't, right? And it's pulled back. So what do we do on resistance, right? If you're trading stock options, we know all the calls on what? Supports, puts on resistance, right? We even have a song that was written about that, right? And why is that? Because statistically, that's what's going to happen. So if you want to play the odds, then that's what you do. And I do sell off before it hits a double top. And I don't care because I know why. Because I can re-enter the trade at any time. I could do this trade 1,000 times today, right? Up and down, up and down, up and down, because I'm not restricted in futures market because I have instant cash settlement. So I'll lock it in to keep it from pulling back and giving up profits, right? So what happens if it goes through? Well, yeah, does that cost me extra money? In a roundabout way it does, because why? Because now I've incurred transaction fees. That's unnecessarily to do that, but how much money would I lost on this pullback right here, right? That's how I look at it. I don't really get hung up on the fees, and part of that's due to my account size. I don't have to worry about it as much as one of our other members that can only trade micros because they have to be more cognizant. They have to get 3 ticks versus I only have to get 1 by trading E-minis. So there's a difference there. They have to let their trades go a little longer. It's easier to make money with E-minis than it is micros, but you got to have the account first to do that. So, but yeah, so I don't get hung up on those things. Is this a cup and handle? Is that an inverted cup and handle? Is that three black crows? Is that 3 soldiers? All those things. As a matter of fact, it's over on the other table. I just cleaned my desk off. I have a book. It's called Know These 14 Candlestick Patterns Before You Start Trading. Very good book. I look at it all the time. It's important to know those things so that whether you're doing it consciously or subconsciously, when you're looking at your chart, you'll understand what's going on. What is a doji? What is a spinning top? What is all those things are important to know, right? And again, do I actively evaluate? Oh, I got 2 candles. We got somebody calling this a hot dog now. Why is that called a hot dog? Right? I'm sure it has a real name to it, right? You got a green candle, red one in the middle. It's like a hot dog, right? Hot dog in the bun. So somebody in our group started calling it a hot dog here a while back, and that name's just kind of stuck with us, right? Does it signify it's going up? Yeah, whatever, right? So those are all, you should know all those things. That's part of the basis of your training. And these are things you learn over time. And it sounds like a lot. Yes, it is a lot. And yes, it will make your brain hurt with all this information coming in. But it's really not that bad. You know, you take these things and you learn these things. You know, you may learn what a cup and handle is today. You know, next week you might hear somebody say, you know, oh, what's a doji, right? What's a channel? I think the first question I ever asked and it was, what's a channel? What are you talking about, a channel? What's a channel? I was observing and taking notes and all that. And somebody was talking about channels. I had no clue what a channel was. And that was my very first question I asked as a new member of ADT. And now we talk about how I channel trade, right? So it's interesting. It's very exciting. I just love it. If you like knowledge and you like to learn the new things, this is the place to be. Your learning will never end here, right? So, and how are you going to learn to do that? Well, that will help you with that. So you need to go to American Dream Trading's website, americandreamtrading.com. Scroll down about halfway down our landing page. Grab our free Discord first, because that's how we communicate with each other. And right next to that, you'll see our membership packages, right? So I've rattled on here a lot, probably more than I need to, like I always do. I'm starting to lose my voice, as a matter of fact. I've been talking all day. Let me scroll back up here through YouTube real quick, see questions here if Doug didn't answer them already. But knowing Doug, he probably did answer them. Everybody say hi to Doug. Ask Doug what happens when a 180-pound bull mastiff decides he wants to take you for a walk. And he wants to take you for a walk down a flight of steps. Ask him how that worked out for him. That's why I have a little dog. Right. This is a good area. I can't tell you when to get in. EMAs. Doug's explaining that. Good job, Doug. Hood just went crazy. Okay, thank you. Hood, my goodness. Did somebody look at Hood? That's good. Did you play it? That's great if you got in there, right? Hood would be Robin Hood stock, H-O-O-D. We trade that. Do I trade meme coins? Absolutely not. I don't trade crypto per se. It's not that I can't. I don't. Will I sometime? Yeah, it's just a natural progression. I've been hanging out in the crypto Zoom calls on Wednesday nights off and on, and you know, it's interesting. I just haven't taken that step. It's not that I can't. I just haven't. I got enough going on. I don't, you know, you got to have balance in your life somewhat. I never have had balance in my life. I don't know why I want to start now at my age, but you know, it's what my wife tells me every day. You need balance in your life. So, thank you for the follows. There's Zobuck Digital and all the rest of you there. All right. Whatever. Dang, you're a super fan now of what, Troy? Me? Or American Dream Trading? I'm nobody special. I'm not the brightest bulb in here. You want some good trading moderators, you need to get in there on our paid memberships and get in the VIP program and get into mentorship programs with Coach and the other training moderators. Get into VIP Gold with David as they talk Apple all day long. We have a wealth of highly intelligent trainers in here. And this is what we do 12 hours a day, starting at 4 a.m. through 4 p.m. So I don't know what it is I can convince you to. Well, I can't make you or convince you any more than I can go buy a large coffee at McDonald's for $1, because I just went and got one the other day. It was $2.29. I'm like, holy crap. You know, for 4 cups of coffee, I could have bought a whole, 3-pounder of coffee for that amount of money, made 1,000 cups. It's like, yeah, you pay for convenience, right? But yeah, what you're seeing here is just the tip of the iceberg. These things I'm telling you, I learned by being part of American Dream Trading, showing up every day doing the work, right? And this is just but a tease of what we do here. And it literally is. Why are we doing this for free? Why do you think we're doing this for free? You know, we want to get our name out there, but the ultimate goal is to help people make better their lives, to help change their lives. And you're not going to learn what you need to learn here on a 2-hour spurt of a live, right? We can't possibly deep dive into anything. And number one, you can't really ask the questions, and we can't have a back and forth over an open microphone like we do on our live Zoom calls every day for up to 12 hours a day, depending on your membership level. So I don't know what you're waiting on. You know why people, what amazes me more than anything about you people that show up here every day, and I do thank you for your support. We thank you as a company for your support, especially the ones that show up here every day, day in and day out. What's holding you back? Why are you still a free member? I get it. We all don't have the budget right now, right? And hopefully that'll change over time. And that's great. You can stay here live for the rest of your life if you want to. We've had people be members for a couple of years before they actually got a membership. But what amazes me and just boggles my mind, and I just can't, I just don't know how to explain it. It's just, we're giving you away a free 7-day trial to learn how to trade futures. We're giving away an absolutely free trial membership for 7 days to learn how to trade crypto. We're giving away a free 7-day trial to learn how to trade stocks and stock options, hanging out with Coach himself and other trading moderators. But nobody's taking advantage of it. I don't get it.
Mark?
Yes, sir.
Question on that, the futures. It does come with the trading view indicators, correct?
Yes, initially, but unless you become a paid member, then after that, they will cease to quit working.
Right.
Yeah, you have to be, after you leave. Yes, you do get the full benefits and everything of this free trial membership. We start training here in futures at 8:30 in the morning. The premium membership with stocks and stock options starts at 8:45, and a live Zoom call from 8:45 to 4 p.m. That's part of your membership every single day. You can open up your mic, ask questions. Or if you're mic shy, I have members in here in the futures I've never heard talk. And that's fine. That's their business. It's their membership. They can use it however they like. But they have a live Zoom chat. They can ask questions, and they do, right? And it just boggles my mind. Can somebody on here tell me the reason why? And I'm not going to pick on you. I'm just curious. Why is it you won't take advantage of a absolutely free trial membership for 7 days, right? Now, if you want to remain a member after that, then you'll automatically be billed, right? After the time's up. But you can cancel any time and not be billed anything. Can somebody on TikTok and somebody on YouTube tell me what is your, and I'm not going to call you out by name, I just would like to know, and I'm not going to pick on you, because I'm dumbfounded. Why wouldn't you take advantage of something that could potentially better your life and your family's life and maybe people you don't even know yet? Why aren't you taking advantage of at least 7 days and come see behind the curtain what we do here? I'm telling you, it'll blow your mind. Somebody please tell me, be honest. Why won't you take advantage of the free offer? I'll wait. Dun, 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 dun. Anybody? Come on. Come on. Come on. Somebody. Oh, I can't believe you guys are that bashful. Even hiding behind a keyboard. You can't even tell me, right? Well, apparently I didn't scroll up far enough on TikTok. Sorry about that. Let me look again. All right. Sorry about that. I didn't scroll up on it. It wasn't feeding. I just jumped in for what is a free week. Now, Discord's always free. Always has been free. It is free currently and always will be free. You can get let me go over these, right? You have what we call our premium membership. That's our lowest price membership. It's our entry level membership. It gets you live training and trading starting at 8:45 in the morning Eastern time through 4 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. It starts at 8:45 with Coach and the other trading moderators. And again, it goes through 4 p.m. You have access to, we do all this training in a live Zoom call that's only available to our paid members, okay? So your free trial, we will treat you just like you are a free or a paid member. You get all the benefits and all the privileges of a paid membership for 7 days, okay? And we do all our training through a live Zoom call. It's nothing like what you see here, nothing. You'll be blown away, I'm telling you. It'll melt your brain. And we have the crypto membership. Okay, it's what is that? $50 a month if you pay for it. They're the same thing with them. They have a live Zoom training on Wednesday nights at 7:15 in the evening, and they do have pop-ups. Plus, inside the Discord, there's also a channel that you can also exclusively for crypto members that you can discuss everything crypto. You want to talk about your crap coin, you can go in there and talk about it, right? And then we have my personal favorite, of course, and I'm biased too, is futures. We start training and trading, myself and our other moderators and our other paid members, at 8:30 in the morning Eastern time through 4 p.m., right? And again, it's through a live Zoom call. You can open your mic up and we deep dive into things all day long. The only time we don't, and you heard even had some of our paid members ask questions, is that, it does get a little diverted to this live feed at 2 o'clock, but they can still ask questions. You already heard questions and comments here. They can open their mic at any time. So let me go back up here. So that's the free Discord. It's free for 7 days. As long as you cancel before the 7 days is up, it's totally free. If you wish to become a paid member, you do nothing and you'll automatically be billed at present rate. The premium is going $125 a month if that's the way you want to pay it. Obviously, you save a lot of money if you pay annually, and you save a little bit if you go semi-annually. The crypto is $50 a month, I believe, and the futures is $250 a month. So now, with the coach's indicators that you see on my screen does not come with the premium membership, by the way. That's our base membership. That comes with the higher tier. You have to have VIP, Gold, Diamond, Crypto, or futures. All right, so let me see. Did anybody write down what Derek says? It's their mindset. Well, whatever. Well, Jimmy, I don't want to tell people they're lazy, but it's been amazing, the info that I've received from the group. Thanks, Mark, for sharing your wealth of knowledge. And thank you, EVPO, for the kind words. It's a mindset. Yeah, people don't want to take that chance. JZX says he's not going to pass this up. We will be joining shortly. Well, I can't tell you how long this offer is going to last either. They're Jimmy, ZX10R. Coaches, they're here at the desire of Coach. He can pull these offers at any time. Can you join without any experience in trading? Yeah, we would prefer you kind of don't have any. I didn't have any, and I've done very well, Jose. Yes, it's best. Matter of fact, you know the old saying, it's best that somebody doesn't know something and you trade them in your way, right? Rather than untrain them out of bad habits, right? It's like the person that goes and tries to teach themselves golf, right? Or guitar, whatever, right? But then they go with an instructor, and the instructor spends half the time, a professional that knows what he's talking about, right? Spends half the time unteaching you the things you learned and created bad habits with. So that's what we ask everybody. I don't care if you got 10 years of experience. It doesn't matter. We ask that you come in, empty your cup, pay attention to the sound of Coach's voice, your trainer's voices, right? Take notes, ask questions, right? Now, you're going to become a master trader in 7 days? Obviously not, right? You're not going to. You're not even going to be ready. But you will gather a wealth of information while you're there. You'll see how we really operate behind the curtain, right? You'll get a good taste of what we really do here. And that's why we're not charging for that for that first 7 days, so that you can actually see what's going on, no obligation on your part, right? What are you waiting on? Head on over there. You got to go to AmericanDreamTrading.com's website. Scroll down. Now, there's two things you need to do. If you scroll down about halfway, you'll see a link that says free Discord. Sign up for that. Make sure you register with the same email that you would use for signing up with American Dream Trading. Don't be doing 15 different emails. It'll screw you up. Once you're verified, to get in there, and I'll tell you why you need that in a minute. And then you can go sign up for the free trial. It's on the website. There's a button right next to the one for the free Discord. Click on that. That'll take you there. You can choose whatever membership. I mean, if you want to start out with a paid membership, have at it, right? I would at least encourage you to come in and look at it for free first, right? Who doesn't like free? Apparently, everybody doesn't like free, because I would think you'd be knocking each other over to get in for free. But that's really not the case. And I just, like I say, I don't get it. Why wouldn't you want to, right? Even if you only used it 2 days, right? Whatever. It just boggles my mind. That's all. I couldn't explain it if somebody asked me why. Maybe they don't like me and they don't want to come to the future. So that's fine. I can handle that, right? That's why we have over 20 different moderators here. You're going to learn something from somebody. I guarantee you're going to learn something from everybody, though. That I can guarantee you, right? Can't guarantee you're going to become a successful trader. That's on you to show up and do the work, right? But if you listen, the sound of coach's voice and what the other moderators, training moderators are teaching you, which is the same thing that coach has taught us. That's where we learned it. Everything I know came from coach. I didn't make up my own rules along the way. I didn't make up my own trading strategies along the way. I don't listen to other TikTokers or other gurus on the interwebs. I only listen to coach. Why? Because I know the things that coach has taught me work. And I've been highly successful employing those things over time. So I have no reason to look. Does that mean other people on the internet aren't a valuable resource? No, it doesn't mean that at all. There's some very highly intelligent people that you can watch on the internet. But I don't need to. I got coach. That's all I need, right? That old geezer on TikTok, right? Now I is a TikToker, right? You're watching me. So head on over and grab them, would you? Don't play around any longer. You can join us tomorrow morning live at 8:30 for futures. You can join Coach live at 8:45 tomorrow morning, and so on and so forth. Now, the reason I said you need our free Discord is because that's how we communicate. There's only two ways that we communicate with our members. And yes, you're considered a member, even as a trial member, is that we only communicate through our lounges. So you have to be in that stock lounge to be able to be able to be us community. The other way is through our live Zoom calls, because only paid members can get into those areas, right? So you actually have to be a paid member to get in it. And you have to be verified via your email. That's how it checks to make sure you're a member, right? So anyway, by doing that, also our live Zoom calls, the links are changed every morning. And we only post them inside our Discord. So that's the only way you can get in to the live Zoom calls, by clicking the link that's in our free Discord. So that's the main reason you need that. So, and you can interact with other members, ask questions. There's other training materials and discounts. There's all kinds of other things in there. And every membership level has its own set of channels. So, futures can't see the premium, they can't see the cryptos. Cryptos can't see futures. Now, if they have those memberships, they can. All right. So get on over. That's all I'm going to say. I've already talked till I'm losing my. What time is it anyway? I didn't pay attention. 3:32. Somebody wants me to check something over there. 2 apostrophes. Wants to know, can I check BM and R? What do you want to know, first of all, before I bring it up? I need something specific. Saying, can you check, tells me nothing of what your question is, because I know you can look up the chart yourself. What is it there that you would like to know about BM and R? I wait for your response. I know there's a 20 to 30 second delay. Waiting on a response. If I don't have a response, I'm not going to comment on it. That's too broad of to check on something. I don't know what it is you want me to check on. I'm not going to comment on something without a very specific question. I'll allow you to type your pointed question in there. Naj, what's up? What's your question there? What can I do for you?
Hi, Mark.
Hello.
Can you please check on gold?
Yes, I'd be more than happy to check on gold. Why? Because I like gold. What do you want to know about gold?
Like, there's 2 minutes EWO, but it's going up again, so I don't know.
Okay, so you want to know about the EWO. Okay. Did you hear what I said earlier? I don't tend to trade gold this time of the day just because the volume drops. If you look at the volume bars down here, you can see the volume drops this time of the day. Doesn't mean you can't make money. Okay, so I'm in a red EWO, correct?
Right.
Where did you enter at, or did you?
I enter at 37793.
Okay, so you entered on the second bar, is that what you're saying, of the EWO?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So that makes it easy right there. So you entered there, okay? And what happened to the candle once you entered there?
It went down, and then it just all of a sudden went up again, so.
Okay, good. All right. What's one thing now? If you enter 100 EWOs that way, you'll probably be very successful. but I would. What's one of the things I say that I employ personally when I'm entering a trade? What's the 3-word phrase I use? You know what I'm talking about? Break
and hold.
And hold. Okay. Did it break and hold here? I suppose you could argue that, right? There's a little bit of a break. But this
It
candle
did.
did not start on the shoulder of the previous candle. So that shows a little bit of weakness there, right? That's why I weighed on the break and hold and making sure that it generally starts on the shoulder. Can it be off a little bit? Yeah, I mean, that one's pretty close. Could you argue that it kind of did? Yeah, I suppose you could, but it really did. It didn't really break away from the bottom of the trend channel, right? So, and then the next candle started weak. Now, does that mean it can't come down? No, it doesn't mean that, but it's not looking good at the moment. This is another reason I said I don't like to trade this late in the day. Now, would I scalp it? Yeah, but I'm not going to really try for an EWO because just for the simple reason, as a general rule, metals and energies, the volume tends to drop off in the last third of the day. So I generally don't, 1:30ish, 2 maybe. I don't trade it just for that reason because look at how much the volume's really dropped off since then, right? So what makes the reason I say that, it's not that you can't make money. You can. You most certainly can. This thing may drop like a rock and you're going to make $1 million before 4 o'clock. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's number one. Number two, what does Coach say about trading during power hour?
Not do it.
And why is that?
Because the volatility increases.
There you go. Right. Exactly. Now, this thing could drop like a rock and you're going to come out smelling like a rose, right? Or it'll go just as crazy the other way and you're going to lose your shirt, right? So it's not worth it just on those two things. Lower volume right now, and lower volume can actually cause volatility, right? There's not enough there. You get somebody come in and puts a big order and shoots it way up, or you have somebody suddenly put a big order to the downside and you'll get a big gap and that thing will drop on you. So unless you're an experienced trader, we're not to trade during power hour. If you do so, you're doing it at your own risk, knowing that you're breaking one of Coach's rules, right? And that rule is not there to make you money. The rule is there to preserve your account, right? We don't want to see anybody wrecking their account, right, during a period of high volatility. Now, is it high volatility right now? No. Obviously, it's the last 8 to 10 minutes really where it increases, but anything can happen in the last hour. Why is that? Because people are going to want to exit their positions. Now, hopefully you already exited your position or you got stopped out because it's going up right now, right? So
I'm still there. I haven't got out.
Okay, well, are you paper trading or real trading? Huh?
Real.
Okay, well, you're going to have to make a decision here. Where's your line in the sand of getting out? You're not trading on hopium, right?
Actually, I was putting stop like right at the high of the day.
Well, that's pretty big. How many tick stop do you have?
I think about 40, 45.
Okay, well, if you're at the previous high day to where it's at now, that's 18 ticks. What is your normal tick entry on gold? What is your preset tick on it, on a stop?
I think there's 25, sometimes more.
Okay. Well, it's about average of 20 right now, so that's 25 is probably pretty good, right? I mean, the volume has dropped, but can you afford to, are you trading a micro?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how much loss or gain per tick?
About $1.50, I believe.
No,
sure.
it's $1.
It's $1, yeah.
It's $1 even. Okay. Sounds to me you have a lot of questions, okay? You're not really sure. And I'm not picking on you because this is how we learn, right? Especially when we're new. We think we know enough to get going, right? And you probably do. You've been with us for a while, right?
Yes.
We need to know these basic things before we jump in. Now, your tick's probably pretty good. Anywhere from 15 to 25 is usually pretty good on a normal day, right? And it depends on your risk tolerance. But you understand if that pulls back the full way, you're going to lose $25, right? That's huge.
Right.
That's huge. Okay. Do I want to let it go $25 before I rip the Band-Aid off? Probably not. What is so you're going to let it stop you out versus pulling the Band-Aid off before that is what I got from you.
Yeah, I was because it's like end of the day, I was just gonna leave it. I would just take a little bit more risk. I don't know. Should
Okay. Do
I
you
or
have
shouldn't?
money in your account to be able to hold it overnight?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do you want this thing to run without you watching it?
No.
Okay, so you're going to stay up until you make money. Is that what you're telling me? Or you get stopped out?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, does that sound like a wise plan?
No.
Okay. Is taking a is taking a loss on purpose part of trading?
No.
No, taking a loss on purpose is part of trading. Sometimes you have to make that decision to take the loss on purpose to limit further damage to your account, right? You got to have a line in the sand. When you enter a trade, you should know where you're going to get out at. And it really shouldn't be where your stop loss is at. You shouldn't really let the stop loss is there. Really, its main purpose is to protect your downside of obviously is to protect you from a big knife drop. Like when somebody comes in here and throws a bunch of orders and it shoots way up, right? It'll stop you out. That's the main intent. You really shouldn't let it stair step down to your stop, right? Unless that's
Mhm.
your full intent of doing it. I wouldn't suggest it, right? I would rip the band aid off before that. Now, we know also that we have to give a 20 tick movement on average right now, right? Because this will move up and down 20 ticks. So is there a reason to panic yet? Probably not, right? But I am concerned more for you as far as um, it the volatility suddenly increasing here, right? So
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you a visual here so I can find a dumb thing. There's so many different things you can put here. I always forget where they're at half the time. Hang on. It's one of these buttons. Right here. All right. So here's the price range. So you got in, let's say here, right? Let's just say you got in right here, right?
Mhm.
I know this channel's moved down. Let's just say you got in halfway. So a 25 tick movement, okay, is that much. From where you got in, if I can grab this bugger and move it. There we go. All right, so this gives you a visual of what 25 ticks look like. So this bottom here is where you got in, let's just say, without knowing the exact amount. It doesn't really matter. So this candle, on average, with the ATR, can move all the way up to here, all the way down to where you got in at, right?
Mhm.
Or it can move from where you got in at, right, down that way, which would be great for you, right? You would
Right.
make all kinds of money if it did that. But this thing can come clear up to here also, right? That's a $25 loss on one micro if you have a 25 ticks. So you have to understand that, yes, I can let that move that much. And if that's fine, and if you can handle a 25 tick, in other words, in this case, $25 loss, potential loss, and you're fine with that, then fine. But we don't want to just give money away to give it. But you do have to make a decision. Do I really want to? You said you up here at the highs where your stop was at. That's more than 25 ticks, right? That's clear up here.
Yeah.
Unless you were talking about right here, which is pretty close, right, to what you were saying. So yes, it can go that high up and down. The problem is you want it to come down. Right now, it very well could. This could sell off in the last few minutes, and you'll be a hero. Oh, I'm the greatest trader in the world, right? But I
Yeah.
would caution you
They're
against,
not,
and it happens, it does, but it could go the other way just as fast. That's
yeah,
why
because
I asked you,
nine
what
is
does coaches?
under,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, the 9 is under 21. That's why I'm like waiting, hoping for it to go down. I know that's not the right way to trade, but um,
Right.
9 is still under 21 and it's really
Mm-hmm.
close to 55. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm like,
And that was another thing I was going to bring up. These aren't actually in the idea strong trading for an entry because you want to see these stacked up 9, 21, 55 in that numeric order, right? So if it's going to the
mhm,
downside, you want to see the 9, then the 21, and then the 55. This just makes a stronger trade. It's not that you can't make money doing that. It just makes the trade a little stronger. You can see here it's flattened out. What do I see? What I always tell you guys, always look behind on your chart before you decide to enter. What is it doing? What was it doing before I decided, hey, I'm going to start trading gold all of a sudden? And I'm guilty of this too. I don't look behind me sometimes, right? Well, look what
mhm,
this does. Where did it want to hang out at? Right here, right?
mhm.
For, whatever time period that is, right? So it hung out here. Where's it hanging out now? Oh, same place this hung out, right? So it's not very encouraging, is what I'm trying to tell you. It's in a channel kind of a thing. Now,
Yeah.
I would highly recommend if you see this thing suddenly spike down, you take your profit when as soon as it happens.
Yeah.
Don't get greedy, right? Because right now
Yeah.
you're in a losing trade. All
Yeah.
right.
That's my plan. Yeah.
Yes. And it can go up just as much as it can go down. You are in the middle of this. You're in here where it's been trading at. So if it chooses to do anything, which personally I don't really, my biased opinion, because I trade gold all the time, is that it's probably not going to do anything, right? You're not going to see a big swing like you do with the indices. Now, I could be wrong. I'm saying I'm right, right? I'm just telling you based on my personal experience. Yes, the indices, they'll shoot way up or they'll pull right down and go right back up, right? They'll do that wild gyrations. Energy and the metals, not so much, right? The volume drops off so much, right? If you look at the indices, see how nice and steady that volume is all day long, right? Yeah, there's some big spikes, but generally these bars are all about the same, right? It's a nice, steady, I can count on volume because people want to trade that, right? They want to trade the S&P 500. Look at the NASDAQ, same way. Look, see? Nice, steady bars are all pretty even all the way across. People like trading the NASDAQ. Look at the Russell. Look at the Russell. See how nice and even those are overall? So the major indices is where the money's at, especially this time of the day, okay? Now let's look at gold. What does gold look like? Ain't too encouraging, is it, when you look at it in comparison? Can I make money trading this time of day? Yeah, but the reason I don't is because of this very reason. The volume drops off so bad. So if I'm in a losing trade, it's going to be that much harder to get back to where I was at, right, to recover. If I look at oil, you're going to see the same thing, energy, right? Oil, you're going to see and I don't even have to look at it. I can tell you, the volume stinks this time of day, right? The average, right? Let me readjust this here without having to adjust everything, right? Let me pull this way up so you can see here. See, here's all your volume back here, right? What has happened since, right? Look at it. This is the part of the day where everything happens. Big difference between those candles and these candles over here now, right? So you see what I'm saying? So that's why I say those are two sectors I personally do not trade this time of the day.
What time do you trade them?
Oh, I start trading at 2 a.m. generally. 2, 3 a.m.
The volume low also.
What's that? I can't hear you.
I said at that time the volume is really low also sometimes.
Well, I think you need to go back and look at what you like to trade and look at that 1:32 a.m. time up till 3 a.m. You'll see some exciting things happening. That's why I decided to get up an hour earlier than I used to. Ralph pointed it out once, and I've done very well doing it. Now, do I get up at 2 a.m. every day? No. I don't set an alarm. I just get up when I get up, right? If I happen to wake up then I come down here and trade. But right now, gold's here. So I'm hoping this works out. I'm hoping the best for you. But that's all I got. Hopium's not a strategy, right?
Yes. Yeah, I know.
I know. We like to say that. But Coach doesn't teach. That's not one of Coach's trading strategies. So let's not employ that in our life. So I hope this works out for you. But I highly recommend if this does happen to sell off before the end of the day, I wouldn't get greedy. If I see it break down below where I got in, I don't care if it's $1. Take it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's my recommendation. Now, I can't tell you when to get in and out, but I'm just saying there's not a lot of volume, and statistically, you're probably going to come out negative here, right? Now, that doesn't mean that's not an excuse to hold on to a losing trade either. All right, sometimes you have to decide just to get out of the trade. Now, if you want to manage it, then more power to you, as long as you have enough to cover the maintenance margin, right? At between 5 and 6 or whatever. What are you trading in? Webull or Tradevate or what? What broker are you using?
Webull.
What's that?
Webull right now.
Oh, okay. All right. So now you're going to have what, $600 to keep hold of this trade that only cost you 160, right?
Yes.
Okay. So are you planning on after the market closes at 5? Or are you going to be back there when the market opens at 6?
Yeah, if I keep it, I have to, right?
Well, you should. Why is that? Because you'll get a spike at 6 o'clock open.
Right.
Oil does trade in the evening. Again, it's not as high volume, but it does move. Okay, now you may get stopped out before that, but it's wanting to go up instead of down. Don't move your stop. do not move your stop. If you have to take a loss, you take the loss, right? If you move your stop because you see this coming up and I'm like, oh, maybe it'll go down at 6 o'clock. That's how you wreck your account. You may move it up and get lucky today, but if you get into that habit, you will wreck your account and you'll be bankrupt. Not bankrupt, but you know what I mean. You'll wreck your trading account, right? So I don't know how far away, but it ain't looking good for you, right? Now, if you have it slightly above this high here, fine, but you got about 10 minutes here. Things are going to get a little hairy. Now, you will see a little bit of a pickup, but it's not going to be anything like it was, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you basically broke one of Coach's main rules. If you're an inexperienced trader, you should not be trading during power hour, okay? So you should journal that, all right? Also, you need to journal that the volume is less, right? You've learned that. So those two things, this is how we learn. This is how we grow as a trader, one step at a time, right? Okay? And you're not doing anything different than I haven't already done or the other 10,000 people in here haven't already done, all right? I hate to tell you this, but you're not special as far as doing things we probably shouldn't be doing, okay? I've been there, done that. We all have been. So I speak with authority on this matter, right? So, and you'll learn, right? Now, again, anything could happen. Right now, it ain't looking so good for you, right? You could get wicked out here real quick, right?
So, it kicked me out, so I'm fine now.
It did kick you out?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what you need to do.
I didn't want to wait like too long, so.
Yeah. That's okay. So what you need to do is journal this, all right, this discussion, whatever it is you picked out of me talking to you about, all right? And you want to engineer out anything that you see as a mistake, right? Try to find a way that it doesn't happen. You know, so number one, gold. Now you can watch this. Watch what this does we got 8 minutes left, right? See how much this does. Even with the end of the day when we get this craziness, it still hasn't really brought in volume, right? Now we go over and look at ES. Look at these crazy candles. Look at how big these candles are. That's some serious movement there, right? That one candle alone is, that's 10 ticks. That's $125 right there, just in that one candle, right? Nasdaq's probably even more.
Yeah, there's a 2-minute CW to the green ones.
Yep.
I got up.
These are just 1 minute candles I'm showing you, right?
Yeah.
Look at this candle in Nasdaq. Each tick is $5. This thing's already lost, going on 50 ticks in just about a minute, right? 50 times 5 is 250. So that shows you how much more volatile. But it also has the volume, right? So if you're going to the short on this, you'd be making money. But it has the volume, and that's the difference. Your main indices will always, your ESs, your NQs, your RTYs, your YMs, the Dow, are always going to have the volume, right? And they'll have it right till market close. You'll see it, right? And those, if you're going to do, once you get experienced, years from now, those are things you can look at when you get to market, okay? So it's not for the faint of heart. It's not that you can't make money. I'm not saying you're incompetent, that you can't trade during the hour, but there's a reason Coach makes that rule. And you hear Coach say it himself. He doesn't even trade during power hour. Why? Because it's not worth wrecking your account over a 10, 15 minute period of the day, right? So why do that to ourselves? You can make money 8, 10 hours a day. Why do it? There's 2 times that it's really volatile. That's at 9:30, market open, in the last 10 minutes before market closes. So why do you want to put your account at risk then? There's better times to trade, right? And it's safer. It's less stressful. How stressful was that watching yourself lose money, right? Is that something you want to experience every day? Now, unfortunately, education comes at a cost sometimes, right? And that means losing trades. But the education that you just spent on that, you need to capitalize on what you learned, if anything, right? And journal that. You ain't got to write a book. Never. You can write in here, I will not do this, I will not do that for this reason, right? And put that down. However you do, journal's a personal thing, right? You don't want to be a negative Nelly all the time in your journals. You want to be positive too. What did I do right that made me money today? Why was that trade successful? Why was this trade? What did I miss on this trade that became unsuccessful. Now, in this one, you didn't do anything wrong, okay? So, if there would have been volume, buyers and sellers, it may have moved in your favor, okay? So you didn't make a bad entry per se. It's more the time of the day you made the entry. Now, would I like the better, and of course this channel's moved, would I like the better break and hold below away from the channel? Yes, I would have. But I didn't see that. It's easy to armchair quarterback a chart, but what I don't get to see after the fact is how much this candle was moving up and down, right? The gyration. So, like I can live right now. So, it's, to me, coming here and criticize, well, you should have got in this because this candle didn't. No, we don't do that here, right? We take a look just like we did. And I'm glad you were up front where you got in and we was able to look at it. And just, unfortunately, this one collapsed. And then most of that is due to the time of day, the lack of volume, really. Okay. If you'd have done this trade 3 hours ago, you'd have made money probably, right? You at least had volume to either move it down or move it up, rather than just coming down here and like, kind of thing. So you catch what I'm saying? So.
Yes. Thanks so much, Mark.
This is how we learn now. Now, here's the thing about asking questions, and I'm glad you did. You're putting yourself out there on the line because you know how I am. I was a boomer, right? I joke I don't care about feelings, right? I do, but I play that. You helped. I almost guarantee you helped 5 or 10 other people in our room right now, in our live paid members, right? Because you asked that question. There might even been other members in here trading during power hour when they know they really shouldn't be. And stop it if you are, okay? And maybe they've never heard about, I'll not trade, should probably maybe trade gold or oil, in the afternoon, this late in the afternoon, because of a lower volume, right? I say it probably every day, but until we show you those examples, right? Again, it's not that you can't, it's just pick something better at this time of the day. And don't trade it. Yeah, I'm glad you asked because I'm sure you helped other people.
Sure.
So thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Anybody learn from her question? Paid members over there in our live Zoom chat? If you did, put that in there. Let her know. Did you pick something up from that discussion? I hope you did. How about live members or on our live Zooms? Did you guys learn anything? What I'm talking about there? Anyway. Hopefully you did. All right. I'm glad you all could be here today. How many of you actually went over after my long tirade about I don't understand why you won't sign up for something that's totally free? I don't get it. How many of you did it today? Anybody? I will be checking because I, as a moderator, can see sales. I mean, I don't see all your details or anything like that, but we can tell how many premiums, how many cryptos, how many futures were purchased. That's the extent of what I see. And besides, I don't have time to go in there and look at all that stuff every day anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. It's not the focus of my attention, but take advantage of it, AmericanDreamTrading.com, and see what happens there. Now, what do you see here? What do we got? We have a minute left in the market. Where's your gold at? Did it gyrate wildly? No, not really, did it? Candles really aren't that much. They're just average size, right? They're just kind of, whatever, right? But look at the Dow. Look at that big pull on the Dow. I guarantee you there's one on the Russell. Let's take a look at the Russell. Look at the big pull on the Russell. Look at NQ. Look at that wild gyration there up and down, right? And there's ES, big pull down. Now it may be shooting up. And gold is doing what? I'm sleepy. What's oil doing? Let's take a look at oil here real quick. I mean, I can already tell you what oil's doing. I know, right? Bring oil up. What's oil doing? Just kind of sitting there, right? Nothing either. See how choppy that is there, right? So nothing exciting there either. It just channeled, no volume the last part of that day. So that's why I say I don't trade metals or energies late in the day. Glad y'all could be here today. Hopefully y'all learned something. Hopefully y'all ran knocking each other over to our website, AmericanDreamTrading.com, and grabbed our free Discord and our free 7-day trial memberships. Get them now, and you can join us live in a Zoom call, live Zoom call for training as early as 4 a.m. tomorrow, depending on what membership. The premium starts at 8:45. Cryptos is on Wednesday nights at 7:15, and we start live training and trading in futures at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Get those memberships now. We're open 24/7 on our website. Join us now, and you too can join us tomorrow morning for live training and trading here at American Dream Trading in a live Zoom call. We are live 3 times a day. Coach is live from 9 to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. I'm live with the futures from 2 to 4. And we also have our aftermarket show starting at 4, which is right now, over on our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. Upon conclusion of this broadcast and all of our live broadcasts, they are immediately auto-posted over to our YouTube channel, American Dream Trading. So if you missed anything, you want to review anything or any other past shows, or one of the 2,800 free training videos over on our YouTube channel, head on over there now and check it out. Make sure you click subscribe and notify so that you don't miss any of our upcoming broadcasts. My name's Mark McSee, and I will see you. Make sure anybody that you come in contact for the rest of the day before we meet again, that you'd be a positive source in their life, that you lift them up instead of tearing them down, because you may be the only person to shine a light in their life. I will see you, of course, I will see you tomorrow, same time, same bat channel, as I say, right? And I'm glad you all could be here today, and I hope you learned a little bit and that you will come back again. So I will see you later.
Thank you, Mark, for shining.